They called our ships junkyard relics. When the Galactic Fleet first saw humanity's star cruisers, they laughed. No sleek hulls, no glowing antimatter cores, no shimmering warp trails, just raw, ugly metal and engines that rattled like dying beasts. To them, we were a curiosity. To us, it was personal. The Galactic Federation had existed for tens of thousands of years, spanning half the known galaxy. They'd mastered energy-matter conversion, gravitational drives, and faster-than-light travel centuries before humans had even discovered electricity. When Earth was invited into the Federation, it wasn't because they respected us. It was because they pitied us. They thought we'd crumble under our own gravity once we saw what real civilizations looked like. And maybe they were right, at first. Our ships were crude, our engines were loud, our pilots reckless. But our engineers, they were insane. The kind of minds that looked at a fusion explosion and said, "What if we ride it?" The first joint operation between the Federation and humanity was a relief convoy across the Orion Expanse, a region of unstable hyperspace storms. The mission was simple: move supplies to a quarantined world suffering from stellar radiation fallout. The Federation fleet had 70 ships, each a masterpiece of elegance. Humanity sent 3: the ISS Valiant, ISS Atlas, and ISS Endeavour. They were old warships, retrofitted to handle hyperspace turbulence. Their drives, human-built grav flux engines, primitive by galactic standards, but brutally efficient. The fleet's flagship, a silver spear called the Zarkyle, hailed us as soon as we arrived. "Terrans," the alien admiral sneered. "Do your engines still burn chemical fuel? We detected combustion exhaust in your sublight approach." Captain Rhea Dalton of the Valiant smiled through the screen. "Only when we want to scare the neighbors, Admiral." Laughter echoed across the comms. Mocking, condescending. They didn't know what was coming. The fleet jumped first. Their hyperspace drives shimmered with soft light, bending space-time around them like silk. Humanity followed, with a bang that tore reality like a gunshot. Even before the jump completed, our sensors went haywire. The Federation ships began to flicker in and out of visibility. The hyperspace storms had hit harder than expected. Spatial eddies formed, gravitational pockets collapsing and reforming like ocean waves. Federation vessels struggled to maintain cohesion. Their drives were too sensitive, too elegant, and the turbulence was tearing through their navigation systems. Human ships. They just gritted their teeth and accelerated. "Valiant to fleet," Rhea's voice crackled. "Reading multiple graviton spikes ahead. You're going to want to—" "Human vessel," the Admiral interrupted. "You cannot compensate for the distortion. Stay behind. We will clear the path." Dalton grinned. "Copy that, Admiral. We'll keep up." She killed the channel. Inside the Valiant, the grav flux engine screamed as plasma containment neared overload. The ship shuddered like a dying heart, but it held. Every crew member was strapped in tight, faces pale under red emergency lights. "Flux levels rising," shouted the chief engineer. "We're pushing beyond tolerance." Dalton slammed her fist against the railing. "Push harder." The engines roared, bending space like molten glass. The ship surged forward. Behind them, the Atlas and Endeavour followed, riding the slipstream of distorted gravity. They weren't gliding through hyperspace, they were punching through it. One by one, the Federation ships started to fall behind, trapped in the gravitational crosswinds. Some dropped out of hyperspace entirely. And then, in the silence between dimensions, a voice crackled over the comms. "Admiral Kale of the Zarkyle to all units. How are the Terrans ahead of us?" When the fleet emerged from hyperspace, the scene was stunning. The human ships were already orbiting the target world, battered, sparking, but intact. They'd not only survived the hyperspace storm, they'd beaten the Federation there by almost 20 minutes. The alien admirals couldn't believe it. Their computers said it was impossible. that the human engines didn't even have the power output or stability to achieve that kind of speed. But facts don't lie. Humanity had just outrun the galaxy's greatest fleet. When the Federation engineers boarded the Valiant to inspect its engines, they were horrified. No stabilizers, no safeties. The drive chamber was an inferno of exposed plasma conduits and vibrating magnetic fields. This is madness," one alien stammered. "You fly this death trap willingly?" Chief Engineer Malik wiped the sweat from his face and smirked. "It's not madness, it's margin for error." From that day on, the Federation stopped laughing at humanity's outdated technology. They studied our grav flux drives, learned how we'd turned brute force into control. Some tried to copy it. Most failed. Because it wasn't just about the machines. It was about the people willing to trust them, to risk everything on the edge of physics, to push the throttle when everyone else was afraid to. Months later, the Galactic Council gathered to discuss the incident. Admiral Kale, once the loudest critic of humans, stood before the chamber. "Their ships may be crude," he said, voice echoing across the hall. "Their engines may be loud, but the humans, they believe in speed the way others believe in gods." And from that day forward, the Federation fleets stopped calling us relics. They called us the trailblazers, the species that outran light itself, not with perfection, but with pure, unbreakable will.